Greetings, African people. I'm coming back to do a face-to-face talk with my Jamaican family on a very sensitive topic, one that people get mortified to discuss. But we have to talk about this, and we have to be honest in our assessment of this situation. Marlene Malahoo Forte, I am especially addressing you in this, and any other name that I mention is only to cause these individuals to do some reflection, to spend some time and not be so hasty to come out and speak words that are meant to just calm and smooth over. But to be honest, my previous video to this talked about Canada's position on LGBT and how authentic they are in the struggle for equality for the LGBT community. Marlene Malahoo Forte, recently you made a post after the killing in Florida regarding the LGBT people, and in that post you said that what happened to them, and I'm paraphrasing you, is a tragedy, but you went on to say that the rainbow flag conflicts with the Jamaican law, and you have been going under a firestorm ever since you made that post. And I don't know if you have recanted, but you have gone and explained yourself as the American ambassador have asked you to do. And I think I do appreciate the fact that he came out with a question as opposed to just condemnation. Now, the trouble is, Marlene, those in your government and the opposition alike are here sort of throwing you under the bus. And this is what I want you to do, Marlene, because I believe that your post might be very untimely, and your post does appear to be insensitive, because at that time, at that very sensitive moment, with what has happened to those individuals in Florida, that post could be a bit more timely, but it's already happened, and sometimes things happen for a reason. And in my opinion, I think it has happened to force individuals to have this very necessary conversation. Now, Mr. KD Knight is calling for your job. I'm not sure if this is true. I read this online, so if there is a problem in that, then please forgive me. But my understanding is that KD Knight is saying that you, Miss Malahoo, is not ready for this job, and that you're too young and you don't know how to keep these things to yourself. And I am here to say that Malahoo, Miss Malahoo Forte, this is your opportunity to now challenge these individuals around you, because I don't know what your aim was or what your purpose was, but I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, and whether it's justifiable or not, it was made and it's something that we have to deal with. Now, since these individuals in Jamaica are coming for you and they're saying that what you did is terrible and what you said is terrible, and yes, it is insensitive, but I, for some reason, don't believe you meant any harm. But even though we don't mean harm, we sometimes say things that can be hurtful. And so because of the sensitive nature and because of the Americans' intention of showing solidarity with these people, they might take offense to that. I have no issue with that. What I do have an issue with is your people, your own Jamaican family, looking for the opportunity to dash you under the bus right now. And I'm here to tell you, Miss Malahoo Forte, that you must use this opportunity to show hypocrisy. Because since these individuals are so sensitive towards gay and lesbian people's situation in Jamaica, maybe this is time we have the conversation about the Buggery Law. Because what I think I understand you're saying is that you support, you decry what has happened to the gay people in that club. But there's a conflict in your mind with the rainbow flag flying in a country that has a buggery law. I think that's what you're saying. I don't think you're saying that you don't like LGBT. I think you're saying there's a conflict. And if there's a conflict, therefore you've got to do something about it. Katie Knight, will you stand up and lead this? Will you gather all the people in Jamaica who are politicians and come forward and stand up in parliament and say, you're getting rid of the buggery law? How many people are willing to do that? So you might put out these fancy words and you might send, you know, your condolences, and you might be very sincere in that. I don't think there's any Jamaican, for the most part, who really want to see people die because, especially educated people and politicians in Jamaica, I don't think anybody want to see individuals die because of their sexual orientation. But Katie Knight, since you're forward to say that Miss Malahoo is not ready for this job, then you need to be the one to lead the change. You can't put it to a referendum because 90% of the people are going to say no. So if you really want to make choices, you've got to make those choices as legislators and as lawmakers and policymakers and so on and so forth. How many are willing to see people in Jamaica who are gay live in freedom and harmony with respect and rights guaranteed? How many are willing to do that? Stop being a hypocrite. Stop trying to throw the woman under the bus because she's saying what most of you believe. 90% of Jamaican people do not want LGBT having rights and equality in Jamaica. And politicians have played around it and have promised and have not really done anything. Now, I'm not judging you and I'm not blaming you, because the thing about it is, you know, your religion have taught you this. The British religious system that you're under, which is called Christianity, is what told you this. And none of you can even defend yourselves against this cry of prejudice. You can't even defend yourself that this is because you have been indoctrinated all these years, that these individuals were wicked and evil and they were going to hell and Sodom and Gomorrah. It is religious or religion that has taught you that. And you stick by that religion and you say this is wrong. And so you dance around the issue. But I'm here to tell you, you can't dance around it forever. You don't have the power to stop that what is. And you don't have the power to change what is coming. So I suggest that you sit down in a real conversation, face to face with those who make rules and policies and things like that, and decide how you're going to fix this situation. Because whether you want to fix it or not, it is going to be fixed for you. You have absolutely no power, I'm sorry to say. You govern the country based on what you're told to do. You have to answer to people who are in powerful positions around the world. And the LGBT movement is a part of that powerful movement. Don't throw her under the bus. If she's young, you take her in private and you say to her, this was quite untimely. And this is what we've got to do in moving forward to granting access and liberty to individuals, every member of our country. You don't throw under the bus and make it seem like she's doing or saying something that is different from you. Why is the burglary law still on the books? Why is it still there? Where is the huge cry to abandon it? So Malahoo Forte might have been insensitive, but she's not saying anything what 90% of Jamaicans don't believe, and is that they don't want her to have gay rights. They don't want gay marriage. They don't want gay liberty. There is a hypocrisy in the world with people. People are hypocrites. Miss Malahoo Forte, if you said this thing or tweeted this comment, yes, it was insensitive at that time, but perhaps this is your way of rebelling. Perhaps this is your way of saying to the people that maybe you have to consider the conflict, because before a law is changed, that thing which is on the law book is considered to be illegal. And if you still have it there that the burglary law is illegal, it's kind of a bit of a conflict to have a flag flying in support of that thing that you don't want. I'm not think you're justified in doing it at the time when you did, but I'm saying that is a conversation that should have come up a long time ago. Now, what I also have to say is, if a company is changing its policies and its rules, every employee has to be retrained. So if you work for a software company and they're using new software or new database system, everybody in that company has to be retrained on the new system. If you're a teacher and you're using new ways of assessment, everybody has to be educated. Everyone has to be on board. And so the government of Jamaica, if the buggery law is there, it's time to consider it. And when you consider it and you've decided what you want to do going forward, everybody has to be on board. And when one person come out and say something that you think is going to cause trouble for you, you need to address it and not brush it under the carpet and not throw somebody out there like a scapegoat. Mr. KD Knight, you're one of the most respectable law person, politician in Jamaica. It goes without saying. You are one of those veterans in this. And I'm saying, as a black brother, you have done injustice in a way to your black sister if you actually said that she should lose her job. Because when individuals in this country that I live make racial remarks and say discriminatory things, they are sent for sensitivity training. They don't necessarily lose their job. Sometimes in the interest of a party, a person might step down, but not everybody lose their job because they said something out of turn. The woman doesn't have to lose her job for saying what you think and what 90% of the Jamaican people think about gay people. Change the laws. There should never be any conflict. You shouldn't say something out of your mouth and your action does not match it. You should not condemn this woman for something that she said and she loses her job. I don't think she meant harm. And even her ignorance might not be something that people can celebrate or should celebrate. But I'm just saying that that conversation needs to be had. And she's saying if it's on the books, it's illegal in the books, then there's a conflict. She's correct. And that conflict must be fixed. It must be fixed. Because if you don't choose to fix it yourself, somebody's going to fix it for you. Do you understand? Malahoo Forte, as a black woman, I understand full well how our people will never support us, even when we're right. And though I agree that the timing was off and that you didn't understand that that flag flying at the American embassy had every right to fly at off mask because it was the ambassador's way of showing solidarity with his own people. We've got to learn how to do the same thing and show solidarity with our own people. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, poor, disabled, every person who have experienced discrimination at every level deserve the respect and the support of our powerful people in society who are politicians. You might have erred in your timing, but Ms. Malahoo Forte, you have spoken what most people in Jamaica believe, and there have been hypocrites for jumping over you. A lot of them are just worried about losing their visa. A lot of them are just trying to do damage control. A lot of them have just trying to hide what they feel in reality. I don't want to piss off any of you powerful people because I love Jamaica very much. It's my home. And I don't mean any harm, but I'm saying the truth. And I'm saying that whatever Miss Malahoo Forte said, a lot of people of you really believe. And if you don't want to change your life and your beliefs and whatever, say it. Say you're not changing. Be powerful and strong and don't have power and strength against your own sister. Don't show solidarity with other people and throw your sister under the bus when she's saying what you believe, because that's what's happening in the world. Individuals are speaking to the two corners of their mouth. It's time for us as human beings to love each other, to support each other, to respect each other. It's time for us to understand that we're in the struggle together. Everything that someone has to fight for as a right is something that has caused them pain and suffering. And if you truly believe that the LGBT people deserve respect at all time, you're going to revisit that law that was given to you by Great Britain. Great Britain put it there. The Buggery law is not a Jamaican law, it's a British law. And if the British people say that they don't want it no more, then maybe it's time for you to reconsider it. Your own religious beliefs is very important. But because we're Black people and we never put it out there that we valued the things that are important to us, we depended on other people. And so we can't speak openly and honestly because we have no power, we have no control, we have, you know, we have no voice. I stand with the LGBT people. I admire their tenacity. I admire their strength. I admire the fact that they fight for what they believe in. And we as Black people could learn something from it. Be blessed, African people. Think on these things.